I start my line siding at Newark Northgate station and cover a distance of 35 route miles to Doncaster. The single-storey station building of cream-coloured brickwork with arched windows looks smart and well kept. It was similar on the platforms, every fixture with a fresh paint job and not a piece of litter in sight. Platform 1 is the northbound platform, which is fronted by the main station building and booking office. The northbound fast is soon followed by another Class 91, which stops, then departs for Doncaster and Leeds. Half a mile north of Newark station, the East Coast line crosses the Lincoln to Nottingham line on a flat crossing, before going over the River Trent on a bow-girder bridge. The bow-girder bridge, carrying double track, was slid into position over the August bank holiday weekend in the year 2000, replacing two side-by-side single-track bow-girder bridges. The next feature which took my fancy as I followed the line north was Batley Lane crossing box, now disused. At least I think it's disused. These switching units occur at various points along the electrified route, enabling sections of the overhead conductors to be switched out for line maintenance. Now a more recently erected box, Carlton, a British Railways Eastern Region Type 20 panel box, erected in the mid-70s when the East Coast Main Line was re-signalled. (67046) rushes north. Just across the tracks from the box is the Great Northern Inn. Running by Sutton on Trent village, then comes the wooden gated crossing at Grassthorpe. Here the crossing keeper has to phone Carlton box for permission before he can unlock and open the gates. Across the tracks can be seen the out-of-use cooling towers of High Marnham Power Station. Now approaching Tuxford, where the East Coast Line goes under the former LD&EC line to High Marnham Power Station. A loaded coal train heads for High Marnham and a sand train for Monk, Bretton, Barnsley. A little cheating here, the coal and sand trains were videoed in February 1997. Back to April 2005, and the sand train leaves Tuxford, passing on the right the trackbed of a long-lifted link between the LD&EC and Great Northern East Coast Line. Five and a half miles north of Tuxford comes Grove Road signal box. Half a mile after Grove Road, the River Idle is approached. This fine red brick viaduct over the Idle has 5 arches. This southbound container train is crossed by a Class 43 HST set, slowing up to enter Retford Station. As the sun flits behind the clouds, over the Idle comes a rake of empty stock. And looking from the same vantage point, the sun reappears, and in the distance beyond the ECML, a Class 153 unit is seen, leaving Retford Lower Station on its way to Worksop. Now passing through Retford Lower Station, this coal train, bound for either Cottam or Westburton, goes under the East Coast Line. Fast, non-stop, through the upper platforms of Retford Station. More splendid cream brickwork, the station frontage serving both the upper and lower platforms. directly opposite the station entrance, this fine old Great Northern Terrace. On platform 1 of Retford Station, this plaque can be seen, dedicated to the station canteen staff serving the armed forces during World War II. A northbound non-stopper rushes through as the service from Leeds to King's Cross pulls into platform 1. The GBR freight heads south through platform 1. Opposite, a line curves away off the northbound running line, the curve to join up with the Lincoln to Worksop line. The freight is halted at signals for a southbound fast, and coming slowly through platform 2 and around the curve is 66102, bound for Worksop Yard. The upfast is crossed by a downfast, and the downfast then goes over the scenic Chesterfield Canal. A view from the other side of the bridge, and an electric heads north after stopping at Retford Station. Water hens get on with their dabbling under the now tranquil bridge. Just after the canal comes milepost 141 and this fine ex-Great Northern residence. Next comes another Sutton, this time Sutton come Lound, and 2 trains head northwards, past the now closed and boarded up box. At milepost 144 is a well-maintained box on the crossing at the village of Ranskill. Just over a mile north of Ranskill, the old Great North Road crosses over a disused trackbed. The trackbed once the Great Northern Railway connection to Haworth Colliery. Scrooby Crossing, and soon after the line goes over the River Ryton. Here used to be Scrooby water troughs. Soon after Scrooby comes Botry Viaduct with its 25 arches. A train heads northwards over the viaduct, and in the foreground the River Idle is seen once again. Northwards over the viaduct, and then the approach to Rossington. Two diesel sets run north and fast over Rossington Crossing. Half a mile further on, and the line crosses the River Tone by Rossington Colliery Junction. And on the eastern side of the bridge, on the banks of the Tone, is this highly decorative bright blue steel seat with the wording A4 Pacific Mallard. Here the public footpath along the banks of the River Tone takes you across a track foot crossing. To the north of the crossing is the M18 motorway. And heading north from Rossington Crossing, the sand train passes the Colliery Junction, then goes over the River Tone. And under the M18 motorway. Now a container train on the up line, heading south, goes over the Tone. Yes, a train of coal empties for Rossington Colliery. I had long wanted to observe a train on the Colliery branch. Now was my chance. The EWS Class 66 locomotive backs the train, the brake van leading, all the way up the 1 mile branch to the colliery loading pad. The branch comes off the junction on a sharp curve and immediately goes over this brick arched drain culvert, the only architectural feature on the branch. The single line track runs straight and level along the south bank of the River Torn for nearly a mile, and halfway along the colliery headstocks are seen on the left. The train halts at this point and awaits instructions from the colliery before proceeding around a sharp curve up to the loading pad. This telephoto view shows the EWS train up at the loading pad. Now a wide angle view of the train at the loading pad and the colliery headstocks. A single JCB bucket loader fills each wagon in turn, taking just under 2 hours to complete the loading. Now the loading is complete, and the EWS train eases slowly down the gradient from the loading pad. The EWS train is now approaching the junction. Freightliner are also contracted for the task. They use 2 locomotives, top and tailing the train. Back to the EWS setup again, and the loco has just run round at the exchange sidings, and the train now leaves the junction and crosses over the Torn before joining the electrified line towards Doncaster. Back at the junction, and a Class 91 electric set heads north for Doncaster. And approaches the M18 motorway. Under the motorway, milepost 152, and following closely behind the electric is a diesel HST set. Now the motorway sees 67023 halted at signals on the up slow. The signal now clear, 67023 heads away south. "100 yards past the signals and a train heads north over a 7-arch brick culvert, crossing a sluice drain. Leaving behind the culvert and motorway, a Class 91 forges north, passing by Leeds Hull Car Junction. At the junction, this massive steel-plated footbridge carries both pedestrians and horse riders across the tracks. The executive EWS VIP train, hauled by silver-liveried 67029, is followed by a Class 373 Eurostar. A Class 91 runs by on the up slow line. Taking me by surprise, EWS liveried 66175 brings a rake of HAA hoppers up from Belmont Yard via flyover West Junction and heads towards Rossington Colliery. Now I observe a Class 91 electric set coming up from flyover East Junction. And joining the up slow. On another day, coming up from flyover West Junction, is this top and tail set of Freightliner empties, bound for Rossington Colliery. And now coming north is the sand train once again, from Middleton Towers in Norfolk, destination Monk Bretton. Heading towards and under the Lincoln Line flyover. The flyover is at milepost 153. The freight on the flyover is heading either for Lincoln or could come off right and join the East Coast Main Line at Loversall Carr Junction. The HST set roars under the flyover line bridge and then under the South Yorkshire Joint Line bridge. The EWS Class 66 on the joint line heads across Potteric Carr as a tamper runs north on the slow line. Now the line runs through the Potteric Carr Nature Reserve and just 2 and a bit miles to Doncaster. A telephoto shot shows an 08 shunter struggling up to join the South Yorkshire Joint. A little further north sees the line up onto the joint and its bridge over the main line. To the right, the Lincoln lines. A wide angle view shows the GPO depot, also on the right. A southbound electric heads to go under the joint line bridge, as a northbound electric heads for Doncaster. A train of long welded rail heads towards Belmont Yard, having come from either Lincoln or via South Junction off the joint line. Having come off Decoy North Junction, a Class 08 shunter brings bogie flats out of Belmont Upyard towards the South Yorkshire joint line. However, the curve is often used only as a head shunt, as is the case here. The scene changes again as 3 trains of coaling stock prepare to head north towards Belmont Downyard. Once again a Class 91 heads north, passing the GPO depot. And passes through Belmont Yard. On the right, the yards of Jarvis Rail and Grant Rail, and far distant right, Doncaster Carr Motive Power Depot. The next possible vantage point is off the road bridge by Doncaster Cemetery, and a coal train heads north, out of Belmont Downyard. On the left, the lines into the northern end of Doncaster Carr Motive Power Depot. The other side of the bridge, looking north. Ahead, the next bridge is St James Bridge, and just beyond Doncaster Station. On the left, Bridge Junction, leading to Hexthorpe and Sheffield. Now a Class 153 unit from off the Lincoln line, and then a Class 91 electric on the upslow is overtaken by a HST set which has run non-stop through Doncaster Station. A Class 60 Hull train of covered steel coil bogie wagons passes Bridge Junction and will pass South Yorkshire Junction just before going under St James Bridge. The container train heads south as a Class 153 unit comes around the curve from Hexthorpe and approaches South Yorkshire Junction. now positioned by South Yorkshire Junction, as a Virgin Voyager arrives from Hexthorpe and Sheffield. The HST set runs south and in the distance passes by Bridge Junction. Now around the curve from Hexthorpe, empty coal hoppers and full four-wheeled mineral hoppers. Now a consist of brand new Freightliner heavy haul bogie hoppers is held at signals to await a Virgin Voyager set coming out of Doncaster station. The Voyager away to Sheffield. Once again looking over St James Bridge as 67023 passes the church with a rake of ballast hoppers. And then disappears, running through platform 1. A Class 91 now under St James Bridge. And passing the church. Comes into platform 4. And with very little delay, 91102 from King's Cross now departs for Newcastle. And within a few minutes of the Class 91 leaving, its place is taken by a Virgin Voyager from Cardiff, also Newcastle bound. Behind the freight running by platform 3 is the massive steel skeleton of the new Buswell interchange. On this site was once Gresley House, flanked by a multi-storey car park. On the up-centre road, now platform 8, and a class 153 unit from Sheffield pulls in and away for Addick. Now into platform 8, a class 373 Eurostar. The White Rose service from King's Cross to Leeds pulls in and departs on time at 14:55. Now a wide-angle view from platform 3 looking south towards St James Bridge as a HST set pulls into platform 4. And away to the north. The final look on the platforms is of a suburban electric set.
Train now arriving on platform 6 is the 1514 Northern train service to Leeds, calling at Bentley, Ardwick, South Ensel, Fitzwilliam, Sandal, Wakefield, Outwood and Leeds. Platform 6 for the 1514 Northern train service to Leeds.
It's time now to leave the platforms and go under the subway to look at the station exterior. Up the steps from the subway into the travel centre booking office and out into the street. The spring of 2005, and the facade of the station is just one big building site on account of the construction work on the new interchange. Just off picture right a few months ago was Gresley House. A glimpse of things to come. But alas, our 35 route miles are over.